Hello, trading has closed on April 27th, 2022. Let's do our disclaimer, then get down to the business. It's my trading plan for tomorrow, Thursday, April 28th. Remember, I can be wrong. Any trade one makes should be at one's own risk. Please tell your friends about the channel and click like. Look for the pattern with the early low. This is it. Tomorrow should have the early high. Well, let's go over what we said. We said if we gapped under the low, supports failed, and we should have much lower targets, but we didn't gap under the low. We said that if the low of the day held, we could argue for a retracement of today's decline. Well, the low of the day didn't hold. So neither one of those ifs happened. We also said if we broke under this line without gapping under it, it wouldn't stick. It didn't move under it by much, but we did, and it didn't stick. So at least that one worked. Really have to magnify this to see you under it by the briefest of margins. I'm not certain it really changes anything, but the one thing it is going to change is you can go under the line without gapping. It doesn't have to retrace because you've already gone through a 1. That doesn't mean that's going to happen. You just no longer have to gap under it. During the day, MEJT said this drop was false, it would retrace. Said this rally was false, price would retrace. That's already happened. We're still in DeMarc's support area. We're also way under the lower Bollinger Band. Crashes occur from oversold conditions, but crashes are pretty rare things, and you look for support in the area. Doesn't mean this won't crash. Just means this is an area where support often is present. Well, we closed a little change today. My definition of little change is under 0.25%. This was 0.21%. And doesn't really give me any new signals. We did make several attempts to break to new lows. This close was actually over this low, and this low. Often that can mean it's a rejection of the lows, but it wouldn't take much for us to take them out. When you're this close together, I'm less convinced. What I normally do in this close little change is just repeat my call from the day before, and not having anything else I can hang my head on. That's what I'm going to do. Tomorrow's pattern has the early high. We could get down. Today's market close, a little change. It didn't give me any new useful signal. When the market closes, it will change. My practice is to repeat the call from the day before and to expect a move of much larger magnitude. Futures are up as I write this in. If we get up smartly and ideally, take out today's high. If we don't take out the high, I'm going to be a bit suspicious. Then the move up should have legs. But if we gap under today's low and don't reverse it promptly, we should move quite a bit lower. Accordingly, my plan is to wait for the early trade before deciding what action to take. I think the odds favor a large move tomorrow. The consequence of picking the wrong direction could be most unpleasant. I don't like to guess on these things. When the signals aren't clear, I wait till I get signal which is. The only thing I think will happen is we'll get a big move. I'd like it to be up, but if it's down, it's going to be quite a disaster. If we gap under this and don't reverse it promptly, we could travel. This really could crash. But if we gap up, take this out, this is actually a positive pattern. We could still reverse yesterday's action. So let's just see what happens at the open. It's a pattern with the early high, and that's today's call.